Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday if you are watching live tonight. And I am so excited to dive in this week and share with you the upcoming galactic energy. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about the full moon coming up on the 12th of May in Scorpio in this video. And this is going to be my first time doing a live trance channeling instead of my usual channeling that I do with galactic frequencies that come in. So I'm excited about this video. Let's dive in. This is going to cover the energy starting today, May 6th through the 12th. So I want to first start off by kind of talking a little bit about this upcoming full moon as it relates to human design. If this is your first time finding me, hello, my name is Cassandra Deanne, and I am a certified galactic astrologer and also certified in human design. I read the Akashic records and I am a galactic channeler. So let's talk a little bit about the aspects of this upcoming full moon. And as I say in my videos, I'm going to talk lightly about human design terms, although this video I might go in a little deeper. We'll see. But if you don't know much about human design, that's okay. Just feel into the energy because I'm going to talk a lot about what it is that you're going to be feeling. I just like to give you the terminology in case you want to kind of do exploring on your own and look into things yourself. So, that said, coming up on Monday, the full moon we're going to be looking at is going to be in Scorpio. Now, when we have a full moon, the energy can be a little more intense from a new moon because basically the astrology is in opposition. They're pulling in opposite ends as two energies decide to be balanced or want attention to harmonize within themselves. I also like looking at full moons, generally speaking, as a spotlight in the sense too of the moon being fully illuminated. It's looking at what is shining a light on, what is being shined a light on. This can be areas in which you need to change. This can be things that don't feel so good, or this could be celebrations or acknowledgments for how far you have gone, shining that light on those areas in which you've done a lot of work. So, the full moon can carry these frequencies, depending on your own individual journey. Now, when we look at this from an astrology perspective, depending on where you have these placements, which would be around 22 degrees of both Taurus and Scorpio. So the sun is going to be in Taurus and then the moon will be in Scorpio. So depending on where these energies fall in your chart will also flavor your experience in addition to the human design gates that I'm going to be talking about. Now, if we lightly look at this, I look at, and one of my favorite ways to look at Pluto is that Pluto is often connected to, I'm saying Pluto, how I like to look, well, geez, I guess the cat's out of the bag. I jumped ahead. How I like to look at Scorpio is connected to Pluto. I know in my videos I've talked about, I tend to talk about Pluto a lot. So here we have this energy of Scorpio connected with Pluto. So you can look at this as a Scorpio having those deep depths, those inner layers. Pluto is death, rebirth, transformation, sexuality. All of these themes are also connected to Scorpio, where Taurus is sensual and very much engaged in qualities of grounding and the human experience, things along this nature. Taurus is very much about aspects of manifestation and seeing things come into fruition, stability, feeling like you are really plugged into the human experience. So we're looking at how are these energies working together. Now, when we add in the perspective from human design, we're looking at the moon is going to be in gate 43 and the sun is going to be gate 23. Now, together, these formulate a channel, and this is called the channel of structuring. Now, let's kind of break it apart, though, here briefly and talk about what these opposing energies are pulling at. Pardon me, my throat chakra, and if I clear my throat, is a little, yeah, with me being a little nervous about trance channeling, it's a little active. So, when we're looking at these two energies, we'll start with 43, which is where the moon is. Now, this energy is very much all about inner knowing and inner sights. And what's interesting about this energy is that it's a frequency in which you can just know things, understand things, or get things that cannot really be understood. This isn't really a logical energy. This is in human design connected to the ajna, which is processing. But this is kind of just an inner knowing. Like you just don't know how you can describe it, but you just know that you know. It's a very deep clarity in which you can have. Now, on the other end of that, the 23 is very much an energy in which it is being connected to the throat chakra. There's elements of communication or vocalization when we're looking at this in the terms of energy through the throat in manifestation of that this is speaking or clarity. Now, when the in which it's important to trust in the right timing, right timing for things to play out, that there can be clarity and also there can be an ease of expression or, communication of either your desires or communication of your experience, whatever that inner knowing is. Now, another interesting thing is in human design, there is a gate for the right ear, the left ear, and then the inner ear. And the inner ear is gate 23. So this also is an inner listening or an attuning to what is being felt or experienced internally. Now, a couple other layers to this energy that are interesting is that this energy can also have an element about it in which it's good about cutting away what's unnecessary. So it can be also clearing out what's no longer serving, clearing out what language, what things you say are no longer serving. It's so interesting because after a while, like studying this information and looking at some of the things that I've spoke of, especially talking about gate 24, the last week and the week before, we talked a lot about looking at the patterns of what we say and how those things limit us. And here we are looking at this 23 that's a similar energy saying to look at these things and how can we clear out what's unnecessary? How can we take away the extra? It's like if someone was to ask you a question, what do you want? There's this inner knowing of saying, this is what I want, versus sometimes feeling like, well, I was thinking about it. And if I do this, then this can happen. And possibly like this situation might be resolved if this, but then again, there could also be You can see here where there is a lot of extra added to it, where the energy of the 23 can come in and say, listen, this is what I want. I don't know how, I don't know when. I'm trusting in the timing. But I just know, connected to that 43. I don't know how I know, but I just know. And so when we're stepping away now from human design and just speaking directly about this full moon, what I feel like is okay, I take that back. We're going to step right back into human design for one more minute because I want to mention also that the sun presently is in energy 2, which is the full expression of yin. So this energy also has a quality in human design that just it has a feeling. It knows where it's going. Like it's clear in that sense. And it also has a gift for being able to pull things together and energy in that can help and be resourceful in seeing things play out or to come into fruition. This is one of the directional gates in human design. It's the direction of self in the sense of just a inner knowing and the sense of I know where I'm going, I know where I'm heading. So this week there can be an energy in which maybe you are being asked to take a deep breath, a step out of the yang expression of I have to make this happen, I need to push this forward, and stepping into that yin energy of saying I know where I'm headed. I know my direction. I know where I'm going. And I'm trusting each step will help guide me to bring in the resources necessary into going to the direction of where I am. And then we come into this full moon energy, which is, this energy that is all about coming together, seeing the fruition of things actually playing out and coming to pass, feeling like you this week, know your feel into if you just know when and allowing yourself to rest into the timing, knowing that things will play out exactly as intended in the right timing. And these energies will help you move forward. And keeping in mind wherever this is in your chart, whatever theme this is, for some of you it may be in your career, some of you it may be relationships, some of you it may be bringing a project into fruition, writing a book, sharing, starting a podcast, whatever it is, just trusting in that inner knowing. The shadow side of this can be not trusting your inner knowing, not listening, and not tuning into that. So that's kind of the pieces in which I wanted to share as it relates to the upcoming full moon on the 12th. Now, I want to talk a little bit more before I get started into the trance channeling piece of this recording. This is not my first time ever trance channeling, however, first time doing it live. So I've been doing this for quite some time in private, and this will be the first time doing it live. I want to take a little bit of moment and talk about this with you in case this is something you're new to, as I feel like this is a direction in which I'm being encouraged to step more into. So I've been doing these videos. I think last week was the 7th week I've done them. Probably around 2 months ago, my guides had said to me that they wanted me to start practicing privately in trance channeling and also to start recording these videos in which I am channeling. Now, the differences between channeling, how I've been doing the last 7 weeks, versus trance channeling is this. When I am channeling information, my consciousness is more in the forefront. I'm hearing through my clairaudient gift and sometimes seeing through my clairvoyance different things in which I am then communicating to you. So, this is a very conscious experience where I'm receiving information and then I'm relaying it. Now, as I have been trance channeling, I've noticed the last couple of weeks I'm feeling the energy intensify, and the my guides are prompting me that it is time to gather the courage and start trance channeling more publicly. Now, the difference between the two is when I am trance channeling, what I'm doing is I am coming into or tuning into the frequency. Just like every week in these videos, I've been tuning into the frequency and then speaking through. Now, the difference is in trance channeling is I allow a deeper connection to wherever I'm dialing in, and I allow my consciousness to recede backwards so that I can just speak clearly as a vessel. Now, there are many different trance channelers out there. One of my favorite is Bashar. There's Abraham Hicks and many other channelers out there. Now, you can find that often trance channelers will have one particular frequency in which they channel. I, however, am open to many different frequencies in which I've been working with. Some of the energies, just for context, have been one of my favorites is a Lemurian frequency collective energy that has invited me to refer to this frequency as grandmama. And this frequency is very loving and kind. I've also channeled the Hathors, which I could talk more about that another time. I've channeled the Hadarians. There's also a avian group of collective that asked to be referred to as Ratu, and many other energies. Now, depending on what I am trance channeling, I may have physical twitching or engagement within my physical vessel. This is something that if you were to watch, you can see. I invite those who experience this, if you wish to close your eyes and just listen, if any movement is distracting to you, then I invite you to embody the moment and kind of close your eyes and just feel into the frequency, the energy that is coming through. My eyes will be closed during trance channeling, and also, most energies that I channel, my voice does not really change much. Sometimes there will be differences depending on who the energy frequency is, but for the most part, it sounds like me. So I'm just thinking through all of my little what to expect and seeing if I left anything out. Ah, also, because this is something fairly new to me, it may take me a couple minutes to have the frequency come in. Now, once I am connected, I will share the trance channeling because, as I said, my consciousness is fairly receded. Unfortunately, at the end, I don't really know exactly 100% what was said. It is very vague. So I won't be able to recap anything, and it'll be fun for me to go back and listen to the recording to see what came through. Okay, now I think that's all. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to take a drink, and I do like my Palo Santos, so I'm going to light some of that, and then I'm going to tune in. I'm just going to be grounding my energy some. I invite you to, if you can, do the same. I know I can be guilty of like watching YouTube at like 2 times speed, like just kind of like go, go, go. But sometimes I'm finding it's nice to just take a breath and pause, resting into your body, kind of letting all the chaos of the day just melt away. I'll light a little bit more and then we'll get started. Okay. I know sometimes when I'm trance channeling, I lean a lot too. Just speaking human to human here. I'm kind of like hoping I stay on camera and don't like go off. Oh boy. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. As I said, I invite you to just close your eyes with me. Relax. And I'm going to start connecting. I'm going to say a little prayer. Opening up, asking for guidance for the collective of the highest vibration of love, of light that is beneficial in helping us navigate where we are collectively in this moment, in this full moon, in this week to come. Hello, my beautiful children. It is so wonderful to speak with you today. I am Grandmama. I am connected to a frequency from Lemuria. We are an ancient people whom are very interested in your time, your people. your transition. Our frequency is one of truth, while we are also very much concerned with the emotional state of your people. We are a collective that holds one another dear. We are a community as we see some of you are stepping into. That said, the bond you share within one another will be increasing, will be growing and strengthening as you are evolving and moving into new times and spaces. You have no idea what is in store. This will be a time of great magic, of great connection, of great transition. And while we understand that right now the energy may feel divided, yet we would say what is ahead will be well worth the wait. Our guidance to you in this time, in this space, is not far from that in which many others have shared with your people. This is to understand that where you are headed, there will be a frequency that supports more of what is unexplainable, what you would say unusual or magical. This will be your world. This will be your reality. You will step into the true essence of the vastness of your ability as the creator of your reality. You will step further into your power, into your ability as a creator. This may sound like fluff to some. You may say, how can I dream so large when there is division, corruption, and systems falling, crumbling, destruction in almost every way in which you may glance? We would say, dear child, breathe, be present, choose to see where you wish to go, where you wish to be. This is not a distraction. This is not illusion. Rather, this is the way through. You can be of expansive love and light and care, and also hold sympathy for those around you. Yet, we would say that it is necessary to be responsible for where you intend to go. If you intend to follow the path of another, you may choose to follow in their footsteps. Yet, we would suggest that the wiser path may be into understanding oneself and one's desires. This is not simply about living in fantasy or living in means that feel like magical hogwash, we would say. This is essential in raising of the frequency on Gaia. When you choose to dream, you dream not just for yourself, but rather you dream for the frequency in which you contribute and share with your community, with Gaia. This is how the earth will transform. This is how the frequency will increase. Some may not like this advice. Some may look at it as naive or irresponsible or a form of bypassing what they may experience or feel or notice in their environment. Once more, we would say this is not distraction. Rather, this is the key. This is the way forward. We wish nothing more than for the full realization of your people. There is some in which will not choose to follow in the same path. We understand the heart and the emotion that may come with said experiences. We understand it is of human nature to want everyone to come along with you. We will say to you now, not everyone in which you desire to come with you will come. This, while challenging, presents an opportunity for you, the individual, to tune in with greater consideration to what is it that you wish your world to look like. Can you move forward without a loved one, without a friend? We say this not to create fear or separation. We say this rather in preparation for clarity and understanding of each individual's circumstances. Meaning, if you are one of these individuals listening to this now, you have done nothing wrong. This is no reflection of your worthiness. This is no reflection of your ability to receive love. This is Simply each soul stepping into their individual path and expression. We say to you, while we understand this may be hard, you will not be alone. You will not be without companionship. You will not be without love and understanding. Rather, you will find your people. Your people will join you entering into this new form of living, this new frequency of Gaia. So, my child, hold yourself, allow the tears, but know that all that is good will come and will be. And with this, we send you so much love and bid you goodbye. It will be interesting for me to go back and listen. I just feel such love right now. I just hope that if you're watching this, maybe you can feel it too. It's this frequency of intense love and support. Beautiful. Whew. Feel a little lightheaded. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope that something good came through. I'm excited to go back and listen. I'm a little numb. Sorry. I'm trying to come back to reality and focus in this video. Oh, goodness. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, do the like thing, subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And I would love to give all of the invitations for you to work with me and connect with me, but I don't have the language right now. So I will say goodbye until next week. Bye.